Hello students, good morning. Welcome to the chemistry online classes. So in today's class we are going to learn the difference between order and the molecularity, one of the important 4 mark answer question from the chemical kinetics chapter. Okay, now let us see the definition of an order and then the what is the definition of molecularity, and then we are going to learn few difference between the order and the molecularity. Okay, now let us see the definition of an order of a reaction here. See, it is given here: the sum of the powers of the concentration terms of the reactants in a rate equation is called to be as the order of a reaction. Right? You can understand from this definition what is saying here. It is the sum of the powers of the concentration terms of the reactant in the rate equation. So what the definition says here is, in a rate equation, whatever the reactants concentration we are going to write, we have to take the powers of that, and that powers we have to add. So when you are going to add the powers of the concentration terms of reactant in the rate equation, then we are going to get the order of a reaction. Now let us see an example here. Say I am going to take the one simple reaction where A plus B are the two reactants. When combined they are going to form the C, and for this the rate can be written as nothing but the here rate law can be written as, or simply called as a rate equation can be written as here R equals to K into concentration of A into concentration of B. So here R is nothing but your rate of a reaction, nothing but simply called as speed of a reaction, where K is a rate constant. Here A is a concentration of the reactant A and B is a concentration of the reactant B. This is how we are going to write the rate law or the rate equation. Now in this one you can see these are the two reactants, and what is the power we have here is nothing but the 1, and we add the powers of these two, that is 1 plus 1 2. Therefore the order of this reaction is going to be the 2. Is it clear here? So this is how we are going to find the order of a reaction. So hope you got this definition here. What is the definition here? That is the sum of the powers of the concentration terms of the reactants in a rate equation is called to be as the order of a reaction. Is it done there? Now check the molecularity. The number of atoms or ions or molecules taking part in an elementary reaction which must collide simultaneously to form a product is called to be as molecularity. Now what is molecularity means here? See, here we need to know one term here, that is elementary reaction. Here elementary reactions are nothing but simply the single step reaction. The single step reactions we call them to be as molecularity. So in a single step reaction, how many atoms or the ions or the molecules are colliding each other to form a product is called to be as your molecularity. Is it clear here? In a single step reaction, how many atoms, ions or molecules are colliding to each other to form the product is called to be as your molecularity. Is it done? Now check the second difference here. The order of a reaction is an experimental quantity. So what is meant by experimental quantity here? So order of a reaction can be found only after doing an experiment. By looking at the reaction, we cannot say what is the order it is. The order can be known only by doing the experiment. That's why it is called to be as an experimental quantity. Now coming to the molecularity, what is here? Molecularity is theoretical quantity and it can be calculated by using the reaction mechanism. Okay, so what is here? Molecularity is a theoretical quantity, means by looking at the reaction, by learning at the theory, we can find out what is the molecularity of a reaction, and also by using the reaction mechanism we can easily find the theoretical, means we can easily find the molecularity. Therefore we can say that molecularity is theoretical quantity, whereas the order of a reaction is going to be your experimental quantity. Is it done there? Now coming to the next point here. Here order may be a whole number, fraction, negative or 0. Is it done there? A order value can be the whole number, means it can start with the 0. It can also be a 0 order, and it can also be the fractional. Fraction means what here is 1 by 2, 3 by 2 values also it can be. and sometimes it may also be the negative. It can also be the negative, means the order value can also be the negative, right? And some also it can be the 0. Is it clear here? So what it says here, that is order of a reaction can be a whole number, can be a fraction, or it can be a negative value, or it can be the 0 value. Is it done? Now let's check the next point here. That is the next difference in the molecularity. So molecularity cannot be 0. The first point here is this: molecularity can never be the 0, and similarly it cannot be the non-fractional, and it does not exceed the 3. Is it clear? Molecularity will always be the 3 or less than 3, and also it cannot be the integer. It cannot be an integer, and also it cannot be a 0 value. Is it clear this one here? So that is here. So I can say that order can be a 0, whole number, fraction value, or the negative value, but whereas the molecularity cannot be 0, it cannot be integer, and does not exceed the value of 3. Is it done? Now check the next point here. So order is applicable to elementary as well as the complex reaction. So as we have already learned what is meant by the elementary reactions here. Elementary reactions are nothing but they are the single step reaction, whereas the complex reactions are nothing but those reactions which are taking place in the multiple steps are called to be as your complex reaction. So order can be applied to both the elementary reaction and as well as your complex reaction. Is it done there? Now here they are given the one example here. See here, the H2 when reacts with I2 is going to form the 2HI. Is it clear here? That is the reaction. Here in this one, the rate is given. Say the rate equals to K into concentration of hydrogen into concentration of iodine. Therefore here the power, this is the rate equation how you write. If nothing means nothing but we take it to be as order as the power as the 1. So if you add the power 1 plus 1, what are you going to get here? That is 2. That is the order of reaction is going to be the 2. Is it clear? Same as what we did in the first example here. And this is the one example. Now coming to the here molecularity. Molecularity is applicable only for the elementary reaction. Is it clear here? Molecularity can be applied only for the single step reaction but not for the multiple step reaction, that is your complex reaction. So how can we find it here? See, you can check it here. That is 2NO plus O2 gives the 2NO2. Is it clear? For this reaction the molecularity is nothing but going to be the 2. What is the molecularity here? There is a spelling mistake here. The molecularity is going nothing but your 2. Is it clear here? So what is molecularity means? Number of atoms or ions taking part in elementary reaction which must collide simultaneously to form a product is called as molecularity. Is it clear this one? So that is the difference between your order and the molecularity. This is the 4-mark answer question. Similarly it can be also asked in the 2-mark answer question to define what is meant by order or what is meant by the molecularity. So you should be prepared. Either it is asking, maybe either they ask you for the 4 marks or the 2 marks. Is it clear this one? So that is the one important questions related to the of order and the molecularity, right? Is it clear here? So hope you understood the answer. If you have the doubt, now tomorrow we are going to have the online video session through the Zoom app where we can have the discussion on the doubts if we have in the any of the previous topic what we have learned. If you have any doubts with respect to the previous topics, so you can share for the tomorrow's class the Zoom app where we are going to have the live session. Through there I am going to clarify the doubts if we have anything over there, right? So thank you.